and it was about an Italian talent, Marco Palestra, a very good talent, one of the probably best young talents we have in the Italian Serie A. He did fantastic at Cagliari on loan from Atalanta, as I mentioned before, Defender of the Year, and now Chelsea, while I'm recording this video late night in Europe, late evening in the US, Chelsea are closing every details of the deal for Marco Palestra. The Here We Go is coming. Chelsea and Atalanta have an agreement in place for a transfer fee, a total package over 50 million euros plus add-ons and sell-on clause. So Chelsea have accepted to include also a sell-on clause as part of the deal. Atalanta wanted this sell-on clause from Inter at the beginning and now also from Chelsea because they believe that Marco Palestra one day could be worth in excess of 55-60 million euros, and so they wanted this sell-on clause to be included, and now everything in place on the transfer fee, on the sell-on clause. The player late night gave his green light to go to Chelsea, so basically what he said to Atalanta is sell me where you prefer, Inter or Chelsea, both projects are appealing, attractive to me. This is what Marco Palestra communicated to his agents, and Atalanta decided to send the player to Chelsea because they're offering way more than Inter. Inter are not matching Chelsea bid. For Inter, the deal was being closed at 45 million euros plus 5 in add-ons, but while Inter were closing that deal, they had a meeting just 12 hours ago in order to close the Palestra deal, to plan for the medical test, to celebrate the signing, to replace Denzel Dumfries. Well, in that moment, Chelsea entered the deal, hijacked the move, and go all in for Marco Palestra. So congratulations to Chelsea, because they're about to add a fantastic player to their squad. He can play as right wing back, he can play as left wing back. I told you, if you remember, when Marco Correa got sold to Real Madrid, Chelsea were looking for that kind of player who can cover both wings, and Marco Palestra is very interesting. He's very young, very fast, very talented, so could be an excellent addition. Also, Xabi Alonso got involved in this deal. Xabi Alonso had a direct conversation with Marco Palestra. That's what sources close to the player are saying, and so for Xabi is for sure a very interesting addition. He was used to play and trust this kind of talents when he was at Bayer Leverkusen. Well, now he will have the same opportunity at Chelsea. Then I wanted to also mention the situation of Malo Gusto. Guys, on Malo Gusto, it's important to say that yes, Manchester City manager Enzo Maresca never been in doubt. Enzo Maresca was always going to be the replacement for Pep Guardiola. That's not something new, so that's a point. Enzo Maresca has a very good relationship with Malo Gusto, that's the reality. Enzo Maresca has a very good connection with Malo Gusto and appreciates the player, but at the moment I'm not aware of Manchester City opening concrete talks or negotiations for Malo Gusto. My understanding is that Manchester City appreciate the player, but at the moment they have not reached out to Chelsea in order to ask for Malo Gusto. Let's see if a proposal comes, because now Chelsea have Palestra, who can play on the right and also on the left, but Chelsea also have Reece James and Malo Gusto, and they are not playing European football, so it's going to be important to understand what they want to do. But for sure, the Malo Gusto situation could be an interesting one to follow in the upcoming days and weeks. Talking about interesting cases to follow and talking about interesting stories to consider on Manchester City, let me mention that they keep...
Chelsea have made another huge statement in the transfer market. According to Fabrizio Romano's Here We Go, the Blues have reached an agreement in principle to sign Marco Palestra from Atalanta BC in a deal worth more than 55 million euros. Perhaps the biggest surprise isn't the fee, it's the fact that Chelsea managed to hijack the deal from Inter Milan after Inter had spent weeks working on the transfer. Once the player gave Chelsea the green light, the momentum shifted completely, showing once again how quickly the transfer market can change. From a tactical perspective, this signing makes plenty of sense. Marco Palestra is one of Italy's brightest young wingbacks, combining pace, athleticism, defensive awareness, and the confidence to attack relentlessly down the flank. While he naturally operates on the right, Chelsea value his versatility and long-term potential. Enzo Maresca wants fullbacks who are comfortable in possession, aggressive in pressing, and capable of playing multiple roles, and Palestra fits that profile almost perfectly. Rather than simply adding depth, Chelsea are investing in a player they believe can become a cornerstone of the squad for years to come. This transfer also highlights why Atalanta continue to be one of Europe's best-selling clubs. After agreeing a major sale for Ederson, they've now secured another massive fee for Palestra, taking their income from the two deals beyond 100 million euros. That's remarkable business. Chelsea, on the other hand, have shown they're willing to pay a premium for elite young talent rather than waiting for those players to become established stars elsewhere. As for the signing itself, it's hard not to be impressed. Chelsea haven't just signed a talented player, they've beaten one of Italy's biggest clubs to his signature and secured someone who has the potential to develop into one of Europe's top wingbacks. Of course, the price tag means expectations will be high, and he'll need time to adapt to the Premier League. But if he develops the way Chelsea expect, this could look like a bargain in a few years. Rating, the 8th of May, 10. It's an ambitious signing with enormous upside, and one that could prove to be a masterstroke if Palestra fulfills his potential.